Now recording. This is
Okay,
the
hi.
charter review
Um,
or
I'll
the
I'll introduce that, Doug.
okay.
Yeah, there you go. Hi, I want to welcome everybody. This is the Ranked Choice Voting Subcommittee um, meeting on 11/16, and we are. I'm here with Commissioner Lasher, Commissioner Vandetti, and Commissioner Gasquet, and we are meeting today. We have kind of a limited agenda. We last week we were able to put together our FAQs; those are ready to go. We have our explanatory statement and our ballot language that's ready to go. And so all we have to do, or what actually looks on people's ballots, that that ready to go to send. And the only thing we have to go through today is our ballot language. Now I've spent the last week, maybe a week and a half. I sent out our first proposal that we all looked at and we were okay with. I sent that out to Christine Cook and to Greg Kimsey. And since then, I've been getting feedback from them and talked to Dave O'Brien, the counsel for Represent Us. And he's been helping kind of, I don't want to say negotiate, but kind of negotiate on some ballot language and some suggestions that they had. We did have a discussion with the attorney and me, and Greg went over some things. I was able to incorporate all of Christine Cook's suggestions, and they were just more around form. Greg had some suggestions around language that I was able to kind of change. So you're going to see it. There'll be you'll when you guys look at it, you'll see there's a little bit change on the language, but I think that we have something that is very similar to what we said, but the language has just changed. So I think I'm just going to start from the top here at 16.1, and I have it shared on my screen. Can everybody see it? Yeah. So
Is Kim? She's trying to check in.
I just forwarded the invite to her.
Okay. Okay.
So she'll have
All
the
right.
details.
Okay. So we'll give her just a brief minute before she gets for her to get in.
She's in. She's in now.
Is she in?
Yeah, Counselor
She's in.
Harless is in.
Counselor Harless is here. Okay. Welcome, Counselor Harless, and we are so happy to
she's
have
still
you here.
commissioner. She hasn't left us yet.
No, I'm here. Oh my gosh, is that a puppy?
She's got Commissioner Counselor Harless is here, and so, but I want to congratulate you on your victory, and I'm happy personal. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you heard that. So we are just getting started. I almost called you Counselor Harless again. Counselor Harless, we're just getting started. But I did talk about, before you arrived, I talked a little bit about what you're going to see in front of you is very similar to what we had, the subcommittee had agreed on. And we were, there's just some language changes and a few changes that I'm going to go over with you that that Greg Kimsey has suggested and we, agreed on. And so we'll go over that. I was able to, when I sent it to Christine Cook, I was able to incorporate her changes as far as form. She just really had changes requested as far as form. So we're starting at the top here. And what has happened since the election and the passage of Amendment 2021-1 and Amendment 2021-2, we now have nonpartisan races. So 6.1 was completely right. Currently in our charter is lined out. So we have a new since 6.1 we are proposing. And that's just that simple statement saying the offices of council member, assessor, auditor, clerk, prosecuting attorney, sheriff, and treasurer shall be nonpartisan offices. And so that's not, there's nothing controversial about that. So moving on to 6.2, the elections procedure. This is language as we proposed. except for we added, if you see right here, I'm pointing with my pointer, the including elections to fill vacant county offices. We wanted to make sure they came up with, during discussions, there came up with questions about like, oh, what would happen if we had a vacant county office, and we just want to kind of assure that they are also ran using ranked choice voting. So that's why we included this statement right here in there. But then other than that, that's language as we presented, and everybody was okay with that. I did relabel things because that's the way our county charter is. They don't use, remember, when I first proposed it, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now it's A, B, C, D, because just that's how the charter is kind of set up, using A, B, C, D. So did that. So B is just, that's as we proposed as well. It's reworded a little bit to, after Christine Cook had some suggestions on how to reword that, because I guess it kind of felt that it was a little iffy on, like, if you would say, like, say rankings could be limited, but not in, she just wanted it stated very clearly. And so we were able to put in that language there to accommodate that request. Okay, C. C is, this is a little different because this is actually accommodating a request from the auditor to state the offices to make sure that his desire and everybody's desire to have the county council races to run in the same schedule that they're running now. And before we had a sentence that said in the manner of partisan races, but since we have nonpartisan positions now, we felt that we. Sorry. So now that we have nonpartisan positions, we wanted to take that sentence out, which was taken out of 6.1, and just clearly state when these council positions, the schedule that they would be on. And as you can see, it's District 1, 2, and 5, and then all the county electeds, they would be found on the same general election as the usual election of the office of governor. And then the other districts 3 and 4 would be 2 years following that election. So that was a request, and we agreed with that. It just made it very clear to anybody like what schedule we are on and what that happening. I do have elections to fit, and then this was a request of Auditor Kinsey. The elections to fill a vacant county office shall be conducted per the schedule provided for partisan offices under state law, only because that's how we do it now. And I just wanted to make it very clear, because if a partisan office opened, from what I understand, and the next general election was an odd year, they wanted it still to maintain them on the even year. So if somebody was appointed to that position, they would fill out that position until the election. That makes sense? So it's just all around scheduling. Yeah. So, okay. The D, that was something that we agreed on very early with about, and that was a suggestion of Auditor Kinsey as well, to appoint the canvassing board to adopt rules for implementation and tabulation. So that still remains in there. The E and F are the ones that are still kind of, I wanted to kind of really talk to you guys about. E, it states that in the event the Washington state law is enacted allowing the use of ranked choice voting to elect county officers, that law shall take the place of the relevant provisions in this charter, except that voters will be allowed to rank 6 candidates for each office. And we had quite a discussion about this with the auditor's office and the attorney. And this is something that I understand, you know, when Auditor Kimsey came to talk to the commission as well, he was this was a concern that he had because he wanted some uniformity, right? Should there be ranked choice voting? And so we talked a lot about it because there are some things that, you know, we might not want to give up. Does that make sense? Like, you know, we might not, like if they do the Alaska model or they do these different kind of models, would we like want to hold on to other things in the charter? This is something that he is feels very, and I understand that as well. He feels very kind of, you know, strongly about that, you know, he wants to be able to use, should that option still come up or a local option still come up, that we use this. So this is something that I think that you guys, I personally am going to vote like to accept this language that he brought forward and do that. But that's something that you need to think about. Like, did you want to hold on to that? The thing to think about in local elections and these you know, like we can talk about like what would happen if the Alaska model came and they had like either 4 or 5, a primary for 4 or 5. Well, you wouldn't hold a primary anyway, right? If there were less than 4 or 5, they would just go straight to the general and we'd have a ranked choice voting. If there was more than 5, which I mean, I just can't imagine 5 people running for treasurer and 5 people. I mean, that's just not, that doesn't happen at the local level. So I feel pretty confident. I mean, I think that when I was talking to the Ranked Choice Voting Resource Center, they're like, yeah, you know, there might be like a 5% chance that sometime you might have to run a primary and take the top 5 people, and that's on. So I feel pretty, you know, I feel pretty good that we are in a place where we're still going to be running ranked choice voting with just a general. How do you guys feel about this? Anybody have any comments about that?
I'm
Greg,
fine with it.
You're fine with it? Greg did say that he's okay with the 6 candidates. So if the state were to adopt ranked choice voting and only like approve of, you know, 3, we would still keep our 6, and he's okay with that. Anybody have any questions about that, or you're okay with that one?
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Okay. Yeah, we had quite a long discussion a couple of times around that. Just because the attorney's like going, okay, just we want to make sure that you guys understand like this would, but I think I'm good with it as well. How about you, Doug?
I'm fine.
Is Dorothy, are you still there?
I'm here. I'm fine with it.
Okay. Okay, so the last one, see, this is going really fast. The last one is this is something that I've only had like a brief conversation with the auditor around it, and it is around our implementation. And so this is the language that Dave O'Brien sent me today about our implementation. And it just states that in 2022, they'll continue to have elections as we have them now, but beginning in 2024, Clark County shall conduct all the elections for the office designated in this section. The one thing I do want you guys to be aware of is didn't have a lot of conversations with actually with Auditor Kimsey around this, but he did just send like a brief message going, oh, I talked to Hart and they can have it by 2026. And I did, so this may, you know, I'll probably have another conversation later this week about this. I did today, of course, I talked to the Chris Hughes with the Ranked Choice Voting Resource Center, which is not an advocacy group. It is actually an implementation group that helps, you know, jurisdictions all around the country. And he said 2026 is an extraordinary long time to wait for them to have to do that. So this is the one thing that I want to go back and talk to him about. And I wanted to get, because I know we had talked about it and we had decided on 2024. And there are some, it's beyond kind of the purview of this group to kind of like get, talk about really implementation and stuff. But there is general knowledge that the Verity Heart system that we have has the capability of having it available and certified within 2 years. The opinion of the ranked choice voting resource center. And there also are other options should for some reason he's not able to have the complete system. The only the system we have right now can run a ranked choice voting election. So if for some reason in 2024 he doesn't have that, there's other ways to do it. There's a universal tabulator that's available and can be certified in an emergency. We have a new Secretary of State that might be open to using that universal tabulator as well. So, I mean, I just hate to, so that's why I'm leaving the 2024. The other thing that I thought was really important, and as Charter Review Commissioners, you guys might appreciate this, is for me, when I thought about it, it's like, so we are going to have another charter review in those commissioners are going to run in 2026. So if we don't have a ranked choice voting election, except for that one that they just ran in, for them to think about, it would be, if they're going to consider things like, oh, we don't like this is awful, or this is kind of, I would like them to have 2 elections to look at and say, yeah, this either worked out for Clark County, it didn't work out for Clark County, this kind of thing. So I kind of thought like, wow, yeah, it'd be great if they had the 2024, 2026, and people actually, we could get a good idea how it's working out for us, right? Does that make sense? As one of the reasons, one of the compelling reasons I'm going to give Greg about, yeah, this is why we need to make it 2024. How does everybody feel about that?
If you make it 2024, that means he would have 22 and 23 to try to get it installed in time. Could that be out there? Someone saying that we don't have time to put this together. We need more time, and this is too short. As an argument to not vote for it.
So no, well, from what I understand, talking to the people that have implemented it, and this heart system has been used, is that they don't see any problem. They said heart could do it in a year. It's the certification of it, but like I said, there are ways to for it to be certified, just like there are ways. California in Eureka County, California is using it. So there are, and California has an even stricter certification process than we do. And so people that I talked to said, there's really no, they don't see it taking, they can see, because it actually gives him almost 3 years, because, if it's 2024 and then he has till November, it gives him 3 years. And if we get it on the ballot, the heart people will know that they're going to have to start working on it. And I don't think, if you're asking me, are you asking me if commissioners would not vote on it?
No, I mean,
Question?
if Greg or the auditor brings that point up, and then it's taken from there to say, well, we're trying to hurry this too much. I get the issue. I think actually your point is well taken, that we probably need to have 2 elections under the belt before the next charter review to look at this. So I think 24 is fine.
So,
But
well,
I
what
just
I'm gonna
worry
do,
about the
I don't think that's a
argument.
worry. So what I'm going to do, and thanks for playing devil's advocate all the time there, Doug. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this conversation with Greg before it's actually submitted, and we will have a conversation around it. Like I said, he didn't say absolutely no, he just, said, oh, well, I just talked to Hart and they can guarantee,
I
and I'm sure that Hart, let me finish. I'm sure that Hart is probably asking for more time too, right? It's like, oh yeah, if you can get me 2026, that's great, And so we, I think having, I don't want to like have tell you guys what Greg's going to say about that, but I'm gonna have a conversation with him about it.
and making the point that it would be good to have 2 elections under the belt rather than just doing the one. That way, if there's any issues, he's ready for 26 before
That's a good point too.
the commission, we have the new commission and they take a look at it. Because if he's had struggles with this, just one struggle and then put it down, but if he gets through the second time without an issue, they'll probably reconsider whether they need to make any changes there or not. So
That's a good point. That's a really good point. So I think when looking at this, I just want to get an okay with an understanding that in F, if after talking to the auditor, he's just like firm, like this is, I need till 2026. That may change, but I will do what I can to keep 2024. I would like us to vote on if this is okay moving forward. With that stipulation, knowing that I'm going to do that, and I'll just, you guys can go, okay, I okay it for the 2024 and 2026 if we can't get that. Is that cool?
Yeah, I like the idea because that was one of the concerns with the redistricting subcommittee as well, is making sure that there was a full awareness of the entire process all the way through before trying to make any changes or alterations. So I think it makes sense
Okay.
having an opportunity to have the whole system gone through and done at least once fully before the commissioners in the next round come in.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, great. So I guess with nobody, no objection, this is what I'm going to be presenting and the resolution that I'll be putting together. Thank you.
do you want
Hand
do you want a more of a
round
formal?
applause.
Do you want a more formal vote or on this, or
Uh,
someone want to make a motion or whatever you want to do?
oh, sure. If somebody wants to do that.
I move that we adopt this ballot language to put forward to the greater committee.
I'll second.
Okay. And any objections? Discussion? Okay, I guess if there's no objections, we'll adopt this unanimous consent. But can we make a friendly amendment to allow me to make the changes in the next week if I have to the 2026? Is that okay?
I still move. It's still flowing somewhat. It's not. It's still in jello stage. It's not rocks.
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Great.
I mean, I kind of think we should try to really push for 2024, though. I think
Me too.
I know.
Yep.
I will.
I don't
Yeah.
see why there would be any reason we couldn't do it in 2024. And if it's the vendor who's making an issue about it, then maybe it's time for a new vendor.
Yeah. Yep.
that would be hard to do.
I like that.
That's like a 2-year process just to get a new vendor.
I know. So I agree with you 100%. And so, I do have to tell you, working with Mackenzie has been really, it's been really great. We have, really listened to him and we've accepted, the language that he suggested and those kind of things. So maybe he'll keep that in mind when we're talking about this issue as well. So I think that is it. The only other thing I wanted to talk to you as committee members is I wanted to, I was gonna put out a email, like, a thank you email to, the people that have helped us put this together, particularly Dave O'Brien from Represent Us, the council, and just thank him for his work on this. I mean, I'm calling him in Washington, D.C. Sometimes it's like 9 o'clock at night, because it's the time here. And he's been so good and really helped. And I know that he had a good conversation with Auditor Kinsey as well. And so I just wanted to make sure that we, as a subcommittee, sent something to some of the people, like the people from Fairboat, the people in David Brown, if that's okay. I'll put, I was going to put all of our names on it. Is that okay with you guys?
Sure.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay. And then anybody else have anything they want to discuss or any questions? And this is pretty much, because I'm on the drafting committee, this is going to be pretty easy peasy to pop into a resolution, and so any questions about that process? We had already done, yeah.
Yeah. I do want to get the resolutions out by the end of the week to our legal counsel for her review of all 5 of them. So
Right.
she'll be it gives her plenty of time to review them. We've got holidays coming up, and just so that I mean, it's not. I don't think it's required to have them all done by December 8th, but as close as possible to
For
review
the
it, so the committees can go back and make one last change if they have to before December 8th.
So for those of you that are not on the drafting committee, we have a December 19th deadline to have all of our resolutions ready to go to send out for the reasons that Doug just. But I don't think we have a problem with this resolution. This will be easy.
Yeah.
I already have it written up in resolution form as well.
Yeah.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about. Oh, sorry, Doug. Did you have?
Well, the attorneys aren't going to be concerned about whether we have 2024, 2026. They're more
I know.
into the other issues that deal with any conflicts or legal issues that may pop up. So the
Okay, cool.
contents is really something that each one of the committees are really putting together.
Good to know. The only other thing I want to talk about is the town hall. So from what I understand, the subcommittee chairs are presenting each one of their amendments. Is that Tim and Anthony, is that the format?
That's the intent.
Okay. So I did write some notes and I'm sending that out. I'll do it first thing in the morning, notes to our slide. I do want to know, ranked choice voting is different than the other amendments because this, for a lot of people that may be at a town hall, it's totally new. So I'm just presenting like, this is what it is, this is what it does. When the 2 slides that have like, the sample ballots, I'm going, well, here is a couple of frequently asked questions about filling out ballot. And, I talk about like, oh, questions like, should I vote for my favorite for first choice, second choice, third choice? And it's like, nope, that doesn't help you. So I do just a couple of frequently asked questions. And then I do have a little bit about, I did make a little statement about we've gotten a lot of community input, and that's why you see it here on the ballot. I mean, as an amendment. And then just a little bit about, just a short statement about what we've heard from the community. But that's about it. Anybody else have anything they want to say about our presentation in the town hall or any suggestions for me?
Not for ranked choice voting, but the other three, I'm just basically going to be giving what the explanatory statement is. I'll be presenting 3 of them. So that's 4
Right.
out of the 5. And so mine will be very short. So
Right.
I think the ranked choice voting does, I think, merit having a little more time to do the explanation on that one. The others are pretty cut and dry,
Right. It's
as
not
my
too
brother
long. I
says.
actually
They're
read,
no-brainers. Yeah.
yeah. I actually read all my notes and it's like less than 3 or 5 minutes. It's really short. So, so it is pretty short, but it's a little explanation about it. Anything that I should know, Anthony and Kim, about the town halls and no? It's you and, you guys presenting first. You know what, let me wrap this meeting of the subcommittee, we can, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we have anything else to talk to. Anybody else have anything that they want to talk to in regards to the ranked choice voting ballot language? No? Or, okay, if I'll take a motion to adjourn. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
All right. Let's, so it is 5:34 and I'm adjourned. Everybody for coming, and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.